Hi everyone, I'm Kim and Elson for Catholic Newsbreak. Here's what's happening this week. In the news, we begin with news from around the world. Flooding in India's northeastern Assam state has left 126 people dead and affected nearly 3 million people. Church workers are joining the massive relief work. Father Theodore Perthy, director of the Tezpur Diocese Social Service Agency, said that over 70% of the affected families have no access to their villages because they're underwater, and roads along with houses and possessions, including cattle, have been washed away. Heavy monsoon rains in late June, along with flood waters from Bhutan, have inundated thousands of villages and submerged roads and towns in 23 of 27 districts of Assam state. Babita Alec, team leader for disaster management of Caritas India, the social action wing of the Indian Church, told Catholic News Service that 3 medical teams have been reaching out to villagers sheltered in relief camps run by the government in schools and other centers. Alec said that women, children, and cattle are competing for space in the camps, and there are few toilet facilities in camps with over 2,000 people. She said there's a shortage of drinking water. Alec said Caritas India was working with the Tezpur Diocese, focusing on running medical camps in the relief camps and roadsides, while water and sanitation programs are also being instituted in inundated areas. Cassie Dumet, head of programming of Catholic Relief Services in India, told CNS that the agency had distributed safe drinking water and hygiene kits to nearly 6,000 families. CRS is also planning for long-term rehabilitation programs in the flood-affected villages. Looking at news now from Rome, the Pope enjoyed a concert performance at Castel Gandolfo in his honor by young musicians from Israel, the Palestinian territories, and other Arab countries. The West Eastern Divan Orchestra is conducted by the Israeli conductor Daniel Barenboim and was co-founded in 1999 by Barenboim and the late Palestinian-American scholar Edward Said. The Interfaith Orchestra celebrated the feast of St. Benedict by treating the Pope to 2 Beethoven symphonies, numbers 5 and 6. After the concert, the Pope thanked the musicians. Rome Reports has more on the event.
La mia generazione, come pure quella dei genitori del maestro Barenboim, hanno vissuto le tragedie della Seconda Guerra Mondiale e della Shoah. Ed è molto significativo che lei, maestro, abbia voluto dar vita ad un progetto come quello della West Eastern Divan Orchestra, un gruppo in cui suonano insieme musicisti israeliani, palestinesi e di altri paesi arabi, persone di religione ebraica, musulmana e cristiana. I numerosi riconoscimenti di cui lei e questa orchestra siete stati insigniti dimostrano al tempo stesso l'eccellenza professionale e l'impegno etico e spirituale. Lo abbiamo sentito anche questa sera, ascoltando le sinfonie quinta e sesta di Ludwig van Beethoven. Anche in questa scelta, in questo accostamento possiamo vedere un significato per noi interessante. Queste 2 celeberrime sinfonie esprimono 2 aspetti della vita, il dramma e la pace, la lotta dell'uomo contro il destino avverso e l'immersione rasserenante dell'ambiente bucolico.
Looking at other news from around the country, by a large margin of 111 to 41, the Episcopal Church has approved liturgical resources for the blessing of same-sex relationships. The Church's House of Bishops voted July 9th in favor of provisional use of the resources until the next General Convention held every 3 years. About 80% of the Church's House of Deputies gave their approval the next day. During the debate on the matter, Bishop Edward Little of Northern Indiana said that the approval would put the Episcopal Church out of the Christian mainstream. He said that the Christian world will feel that the Episcopal Church has changed the nature of the sacrament of holy matrimony. With vows, exchange of rings, pronouncement, and a blessing, Bishop Little said the Christian world will think the Episcopal Church has endorsed same-sex marriage and changed basic Christian doctrine, and he does not believe the Episcopal Church is free to do that. The Episcopal Church is a member of the Anglican Communion, which has opposed the blessing of same-sex unions and the ordination of openly gay bishops. Both houses of the General Convention also voted to approve a resolution titled Extending the Rights of the Laity that forbids discrimination against members of the transgender community. And finally in the news, since 2008, Life Runners has been promoting Catholicism and the pro-life movement through marathons in some of the nation's biggest cities. The group was founded in South Dakota by running partners Pat Castle and Rich Reich. Castle said Life Runners came out of a prayer group the two men co-founded in 2007 called Life Group Devotions. They decided to create an action arm of their ministry, and it became Life Runners. Life Runners' goal is to participate in at least one marathon a year. Castle says the group looks for fall marathons around the country and then decides where their mission is needed the most. The group, which is now based in St. Louis, is made up of people who pray, run, and raise money for pregnancy help centers and build awareness about the abortion issue. And the runners wear blue T-shirts with the scriptural quote, "Remember the unborn," Jeremiah 1:5, across the back. Around 500 people from across the U.S. currently belong to Life Runners. Life Runners' next race is the St. Louis Rock and Roll Marathon, October 21st. The group is also planning for a cross-country race during 40 Days for Life, a national campaign to end abortion. The run starts February 13th, 2013. That is all the information we have for you at this time. Please stay with Catholic TV for more Catholic news. Until then, I'm Kevin Nelson, and I'll see you next time on Catholic Newsbreak.